Hi, everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of The Art of the Tour. Tonight, we're going to talk about closing the sale and the follow-up process. So in part 1, we talked about the pre-tour call and how important it is to vet out your prospects before they come for the tour. And then in part 2, we talked about the tour itself, how you're going to use the information that you gathered in the pre-tour call to set the stage for an experience for the couple on the tour. You're not going to just be a tour guide. And then tonight, we're going to be talking about how to close the sale and follow up with those that don't actually book at the tour. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so in this training video, we're going to talk about, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the mindset shift, how you need to go from a salesperson to a trusted guide. And then we're going to talk about how to make it easy for them to say yes and why simplicity sells. And then packages that couples want, the 3-tier pricing structure, and how to talk price with confidence, knowing your value, and addressing common objections, removing the friction from the booking process, and how to close the sale with confidence, guiding them to the yes, not pushing them to a no, and the follow-up process, the mindset from chasing to serving. So let's go ahead and talk about the mindset shift. First and foremost, we have to have a new mindset when it comes to the closing process. So we want to go from the salesperson to the trusted guide. You don't want to be the gatekeeper. You want to gently guide them to the yes. You're not pushing anyone to book. You're helping them make an informed decision that feels right for them. When you lead with empathy, personalization, and genuine care, asking for the sale is a natural extension of your service. So let's talk about how we can make it easy for them to say yes. Why simplicity sells. So how to present packages that convert. So when you have packages that couples want, it actually makes it very easy for them to say yes. So you want to limit your packages to no more than 3 choices. Too many choices can feel overwhelming and makes decisions more challenging. So here's a little tip. Offer them something that doesn't cost you money that you can throw in to sweeten the deal. Sometimes this will just pull them right over the edge. So with fewer choices, remaining flexible and allowing customization with the freedom to upgrade and downgrade in areas that work best for them is going to increase your sales exponentially. So let's talk about packages that couples actually want. The 3-tier pricing structure. How to present packages that convert. So first and foremost, you want to limit your packages to no more than 3 choices. Too many choices can feel overwhelming and makes decision making more challenging. Tip, offer them something that doesn't cost you money that you can throw in to sweeten the deal, like lanterns, extra floral, linens, maybe china. People love to get things for free. So remain flexible. Make sure that you have packages that can be interchangeable. Don't try to fit everybody into a box. People like to know that they have choices and that they can actually create and customize their packages within your packages. So with fewer choices, and when you remain flexible and allow customization with the freedom to upgrade and downgrade in areas that work better for them, you have a much higher rate of converting that sale when they feel like they have some control and they can actually create the package of their dreams. So, how do we talk about price with confidence? That's always kind of a really tough conversation to have, especially if you feel like maybe it's out of their budget a little bit, or you feel like, maybe you charge too much, you're just not sure. You really want to get confident in knowing your value. So displaying confidence when discussing pricing shows that you know your value and the ability to produce excellence at your venue. So you want to be transparent. You want to frame the investment. You want to highlight the most popular choices, and you want to offer booking incentives without pressure. Always give them time and space to make a decision, letting them know that the most important thing is that they feel confident about their choice. Let's talk about addressing common objections, removing friction from the booking process. So they will come up with things like, what if we need to change the date? And what if our guest count changes? What if it rains? Can I bring my own vendors? What if I don't know all the details yet? So you need to go through this list and you need to answer them for your venue, because if at your venue the guest count changes, you need to know ahead of time how you're going to handle that and how you're going to answer that question when that objection comes up at the end of the tour. And you need to have a rain plan if you're an outdoor ceremony. Um, you need to establish whether they can bring their own vendors. And if not, why? And if so, maybe you have a list or at our venue, we have preferred vendors or preferred partners, we like to call them. And I do a whole series of training on how to develop an all-inclusive business plan. So you need to establish that and let them know in a confident way when they come up with these objections, how you're going to handle that. Show those objections in a positive light. Always want to be very positive when you're handling the objections. So here's some simple, gentle, direct closing lines. So you're guiding them to the yes, not pushing them to a no. Strategic closing questions. One good example is, so you seem to really love the venue and it checks all the boxes you mentioned. And then you want to repeat those back to them. Then you can say, so would you like for me to go ahead and reserve the date for you? Another one would be, we would be so honored to host your wedding. If you'd like, I can reserve the date on our calendar so it's officially yours. Now, these are just examples, guys. So, put these in your own words, practice them and make them feel natural. And then you want to close the sale with confidence. How do we do that? So here's some scripts for asking for the sale without being pushy. So it seems like we're a really good fit for your special day. If you're feeling good about it, the next step is just the retainer and the contract. And then we can get started planning your special day right away. Then you want to have electronic signature options for them for accepting proposals, signing contracts, and online payment options for easy booking. And you want to look for some good signs, like timing is everything. You want to look for smiles, nods, and relaxed body language. Comments like, I love this. This is so pretty. I can see it. When they start asking about logistics, timing, or what's included, they're really close. So let's talk about the follow-up process. So 9 times out of 10, couples are not going to book on the spot. They're going to have other venues they want to look at. They want to talk to mom and dad or a best friend or their fiance even. So here's some strategies to keep top of mind. You want to book their initial follow-up appointment for reviewing proposals and answering questions before they leave the venue. Then you want to send reminder texts and emails for the post-tour meeting. So why the follow-up matters more than you think. So you let a beautiful tour, the couple leaves smiling, you feel the connection, and you're hopeful they'll book, but then silence. So the reality is most couples won't book on the spot, not because they didn't love you or your venue, but because they're busy, overwhelmed, and juggling a dozen decisions. Because life gets in the way. Work, deadlines, family drama, other tours, and the endless swirl of wedding planning. So here's the truth. If you don't follow up, you'll lose bookings that you could have won simply because couples get distracted or assume your venue's already taken. Thoughtful follow-up does 3 things. Number 1, it keeps you top of mind. So when they're ready, you're the first venue that they think of. Number 2, shows you're professional and organized, giving them confidence in your process. Number 3, demonstrates genuine care, proving you want them to have a great experience, not just a sale. So the mindset from chasing to serving. Many venue owners hesitate to follow up because they don't want to seem desperate or pushy. But real follow-up isn't about chasing a sale. It's about serving the client. You're making their life easier by keeping info at their fingertips. You're showing respect for their decision process, not rushing them. You're giving them permission to ask questions and share concerns. When you approach follow-up as a service, it feels natural, not needy. Step 3, follow-up framework. Consistency is key. Instead of relying on a single magical tour or a one-off email, use a simple, repeatable system that guides couples from tour to booking. Step 1, same day thank you. Send a warm personal thank you for the same day as the tour, ideally within a few hours. Mention something specific that you loved about meeting them or their vision. Send the photo that you took of them at the ceremony site. Confirm you'll be sending a custom proposal soon, and you're looking forward to speaking with them on that certain date and time. Step 2, 12 to 24-hour custom package delivery. Send their custom proposal within a day. Reference their vision and must-haves. You mentioned wanting a cozy romantic feel. Here's how we can bring that to life. Clearly outline pricing, packages, and any incentives like a limited time discount or bonus. Remind them of the date and time of your follow-up. And review the proposal and answer questions. Step 3, the post-tour call script. Send prospect one last reminder about an hour before the call. Remind them to have all decision makers attend the call as well. Make the call on time and have the proposal up on your computer to make any changes they may request. It's not uncommon for them to want a revised proposal after the review. If a revision is requested, try to make the changes while still on the call. If you need more time to make the changes, let the prospect know when they can expect the revision and make another phone appointment to review the final proposal. How to make follow-up feel personal. Number one, reference their story. Number two, use their names. People always love to hear their names. Number three, offer value in every message. Number four, be available, not overbearing. What to avoid. Don't send generic copy and paste emails. Personalization wins every time, especially in the world today we live in with all the AI stuff. They don't want a canned email. So make it personal. Don't follow up every single day. Space out your messages to avoid overwhelming the couple. Don't make them feel guilty. Your tone should always be supportive and never disappointed or frustrated. The power of consistency. A single magical tour rarely fills your calendar. Well, what does? Consistency, following up with every couple, every time. Using a system so no one slips through the cracks. Showing you care about their experience, not just your bottom line. When you follow up with warmth, clarity, and genuine care, you'll stand out from the competition, and you'll fill your calendar with couples who feel grateful to work with you. Remember, follow up isn't about chasing, it's about caring. When you show up with consistency, kindness, and confidence, the yes will follow. So here's some action steps you can take right away. Number one, set up email and SMS templates for each step of the following follow-up process. Number two, use a simple CRM spreadsheet or checklist to track where each couple is in your follow-up. Number three, personalize every message. Reference their vision, names, and concerns. Review your process every month. Are you getting ghosted? Tweak your timing or wording. Celebrate every booked wedding and every couple who felt cared for, whether they booked or not. So here is the tour follow-up checklist that will be in your workbook that I'm going to have a QR code at the end here that you can scan, and you'll get the entire workbook for all three of the trainings. And here's another action plan. Review your notes and highlight 1 to 2 changes that you'll make this week. Download and print the checklist and scripts included in this workbook. Share your wins and questions with our community or your peers. Remember, progress, not perfection. Every step forward is a win. Okay, so here is the QR code where you can download the follow-up and closing script that takes you step by step through the closing and follow-up process in this video. So this concludes part 3 of the Art of the Tour video training series. If you missed part 1 and 2, go ahead and watch those now. As in part 1, I walk you through how to pre-qualify your leads before you invite them to the tour. This helps you avoid the tire kickers and ghosters and ensures you get the right clients to your door. In part 2, I walk you through the tour process and how to use the information you gathered from the pre-qualifying process to your advantage, increasing your closing rate by 2 to 1. Go ahead and check out those videos and be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be notified when I release new videos like these. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.